For the period we've been in BNI, we've disbursed way over 10 billion shillings. Where people are is where opportunities are.
Environment is the most important thing.
Yes.
Once you go in a space where the right people, the money will come.
There are connections I've made through BNI that have generated billions of shillings. If I'm in the right environment, money will come.
It's a result of that.
I quickly connected. Gave us advice that helped us save close to 300 million shillings.
Oh, wow.
In setting up the brand.
You don't need to chase the money.
Yes.
Just chase the people. Where are the people? What can you gain from them? And that's really what BNI is in essence, is that you don't know who this guy knows.
Thank you very much. I think BNI is another branch that we just don't recognize as a branch.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. No matter when you are tuning in, you are welcome to BNI TV Africa. I am your host this morning. It's morning right here. So I am your host today. My name is Sharon Tumsime, a member of BNI. And today we have an exciting episode for you. We are going to listen to someone whose story I'm sure will make you laugh, make you smile, as well as inspire you and motivate you. If you're a BNI member, you will get the desire to keep going with BNI. If you haven't joined BNI, you will definitely join BNI once you are done watching today's episode. And again, my name is Sharon and you're here live on BNI. BNI stands for Business Network International. And Business Network International, our vision is to change the way the world does business. BNI is a global organization in over 70 countries worldwide. And here in BNI, we ensure that people change the way they do business because it's a referral networking organization. We meet to intentionally refer each other for business using a structured networking system that we follow that ensures that everybody gets to play. Everybody gets to play in the field of business and does it the right way. And like I mentioned today, we have with us a BNI member. He's going to tell us how long he has been in BNI. You'll get to know all those things, so I'm not going to go into those details. His name is Allan Tayebwa, and Allan Tayebwa is the CEO of Goldmine Finance. Goldmine Finance, if you Google Goldmine Finance, you will see his face there and it will tell you everything about this amazing business. They recently opened their third branch and we're going to hear all about that. You are welcome, Allan, to BNI TV today.
Thank you.
Yes, how are you, Allan?
I'm very well.
You're very well.
I'm perfect.
You're perfect.
That's what I like to say.
I know, and you look really good in your shirt today.
Thank you.
Yes, you really look good in those crisp shirts. We always find Allan looking good in one of these crisp white shirts. You know how they say that the CEO is the #1 sales guy for their business?
Yes.
This CEO does just that. I have never met him putting on anything less than a Goldmine shirt. I think even his weekend t-shirts are Goldmine, Goldmine t-shirts. Even your vests have Goldmine on them. Yes, he's one of those people that really are passionate about their business and are doing it the right way. And we're going to hear all about it. Allan, if you could just quickly tell us, how long have you been in BNI? When did you join BNI? How did you join BNI? You know, I don't really know that story, although we're in the same chapter. I don't know how you ended up in BNI. Who brought you to BNI? If you can just let us know.
I've been in BNI for as long as I've been an adult.
Allan, please.
That tells you how young I am. I'm still a youth.
Yeah, still a youth.
Yes, so which is a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Because BNI hasn't been there for too long.
Yes.
I've been in BNI since 2017, I think, when Sunrise Chapter started. Because of the one-member policy, I had initially tried out integrity, but there was already someone in my business category, so I couldn't join. Therefore, what they did, again, I'll fast forwarded, Diana, our national director, I met her in church, and so we were having financial talks, I think I was in a space where I was giving financial literacy talks and my story in finances. And that's how Diana is very aggressive and a very good networker.
Yeah.
So that's how we quickly link up. And as we're having these talks, she invites me to BNI, and she was starting another chapter. So Sunrise was starting along with another chapter that was forming. and they were running concurrently. So we're in the process of starting another chapter, and then that's when she says, Allan, look, Sunrise is going to start, it's launching. I would rather you people come and merge so that they start with a bigger number than starting two chapters,
small ones.
two small chapters in a go.
Yeah.
So that's how I come into Sunrise when they were going to start, and we started Sunrise at that point in 2017.
Oh, wow.
So that's why I say that I've been in BNI for as long as I've been an adult.
Yes.
Because there are very many things that have happened since that time.
Since 2017, yes.
Unfortunately, the one thing I didn't do was meet my wife in BNI.
Shocking.
That was the only failure. That was the only failure of BNI. But aside from that, everything else I've experienced a lot of growth in BNI. I believe before I joined BNI, we were not even in this kind of space.
Really?
We were still upstairs, having a few rooms as an office space. And then the growth, I got married when I was in BNI. I've had children while I'm in BNI. And the growth that we've experienced as a business has majorly, equally been a big contribution has been because of BNI.
BNI.
Definitely, when you've got great minds of people who think alike, even without doing anything else, that alone is a big advantage.
To push
because there is the law of the environment. The environment you are surrounding yourself with has got a big contribution to your success.
To your success, yes.
That alone, that's why there is a big difference, for example, between us and places where there is a lot of conflict. Places like Somalia. That's why you'll find you'll easily thrive maybe in Uganda than you would if you are in that kind of environment. That's what I mean. And of course, this environment of BNI was a big contribution. Being around people like yourself.
You are far too kind.
People carry a lot of wisdom and experience. And because I was still I was probably about 5-6 years in business, there was quite a lot to learn from experienced people in BNI. There was a lot of business to make because when you're around business people, one of the biggest challenges of business people is financing. And like they say, if you say Jesus is the answer, what is the question? Goldmine is the answer to that question.
To that question that every business guy has.
So it was a good environment. Not so much that was the reason that I joined BNI, but I found it to be a good
it was part of the package.
Yes, it was part of the package. And the fact that you get into the room strictly to pass business to one another.
Did it make sense for you the first time Diana talked about it?
Yes.
Because it was a pretty new thing in Uganda at that time, as opposed to now. Now it's a sort of word has gotten around so people understand it. At that time, it was a new whole idea of joining a group where you meet business people to do business. Did it make sense for you at that time? Or you're just supporting your church member? You're like, I started something, let's just go. What was it?
I've always liked networking. Networking has always been my thing. And not so much for the money, but I believe that when you're around people, even if you're around, people who may never help you in life, even if they were young children or students or security guards or border men, I've always believed that there are opportunities where there are people.
Yes.
So the minute I was told about BNI, I didn't even think about the money, to be honest.
Yes.
I needed the
people.
I quickly bought into the
people who are there.
The people. And the idea that there are going to be people here every day.
Who you can meet, and these guys are even talking business. You're like, really?
So for me, that was the one, and what I liked was that we are talking business. So I'd always been invited to many other organizations, spaces, I don't know if I'm allowed to mention some of them, but my thing was, it just can't be about that. I was like, no, I didn't quite connect to the idea of just getting together, and then what?
Yeah, yes.
So I felt like BNI resonated more with my perspective because it was around business. And in fact, what I always told Diana was, even if I was not making money in BNI, I can't
leave. Yes.
I'm like, this is a space that I still grow in. Yeah. Money will come.
Yes.
For me, I'm always a believer that money will come as long as I'm in the right space.
That's the most important thing.
That's the most important thing.
Yes.
If I'm in the right environment, money will come.
It's a result of that.
I quickly connected because I was aware of the fact that networks are very key and very important.
Yes.
Generally in life.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, what I always tell my people is, even if you are around a border group, you never know.
It's so much. Yeah.
I can tell you, I have one of my friends, because I studied around moves and I've lived around moves. One of my friends who rides a border, who I've been with for a very long time, brought me a client who was a mayor of a certain district.
No way.
Can you imagine? Just out of, imagine if there was...
Because you will never know who this guy knows.
I do not. I was never lending to that guy.
No.
But because we are always networking, always talking, we've been together, he one day comes and says, I have this person who...
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's really what BNI is in essence, is that you don't know who this guy knows.
Thank you very much. So you do not know.
Yes. You cannot despise anyone. You cannot tell who is going to be your next big partner.
And the advantage of BNI now, aside from this kind of connection, the advantage of BNI is it is structured. It is set up in such a way that a person is supposed to open up their contacts to you.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
So whether I want it or not,
you have no choice.
I have no choice in a way, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So that for
because
me,
when I sign up, I'm like, I'm going to open my network
precisely
to you.
because you're going to come into the room and make an ask, and when you make an ask, I am moved to
help you.
Help you.
Yes.
You know? So for me, that's the connection of BNI, and I like that I'm able to sell through people.
Yes.
Not to the people, but through the people.
Through the people. Yeah.
That's the advantage. That then I have a huge marketing team. Then I have.
Yes, because at that time when you joined, I'm sure your team was a few people, but you needed the word to go around to people, and how best to reach them than word of mouth. It's still the cheapest, fastest way to sell any business.
I can tell you that if it is to talk about the money, which was not my aim. Whenever I talk about money, when I'm telling people about BNI and they're asking me, have you made money?
Have you made money?
I'm
That's always the
thinking
question.
that should not be the purpose why people join BNI, because money is never a big motivation.
Yes.
You must be able to see far and beyond the money.
Yeah.
If you focus on the money, if you join because of the money, you will not spend more than 3 years in BNI.
Which we learn about, which is really that hunter thing, when you come in to just hunt.
When you come in as a hunter.
Yes.
But sometimes you'll find there are very many hunters. There are many people who come to hunt, because
it's a natural predisposition.
Yes, it's a natural predisposition. But you must have a different perspective, especially if you're running a business. Unless if you're running a business, even if you come in as a staff and you're still working at management level, because that's usually the level of BNI, you must come in with a long-term mentality. And long-term, to tell you the truth, Sharon, it's the fact that if I am in this space, there will be opportunity. I may never know how the opportunity will come, but it will be there. And that has always been my perspective. Because you may give me my next $1 billion opportunity in the next few years.
Exactly.
There are connections I've made through BNI that have generated billions of shillings for us as an organization. And yet I would never have put a hand to it. It is not the person who came in and gave me the connection, but they connected me to someone else who has brought in billions of shillings.
Yes.
That was never even a thought that I had. If you're to talk about the amount of money that we are able to disburse through BNI connections and through BNI, I think BNI is another branch that we just don't recognize as a branch of Goldmine.
Yes.
But in all honesty, we are able to disburse at least, I think, for the period, of course, for the period we've been in BNI, we've disbursed way over 10 billion shillings through
people's connections.
Through people's connections.
Yes, because people might think this BNI member is taking the money.
No. Through
their
members.
networks.
Yeah, because BNI is a very small space.
Yeah.
To sell to the people.
Yes.
You must sell through the people.
Yes, and that's a key factor for someone that's hearing BNI, that it's not the people there that you're going to sell to, but rather through them to get to their contacts and beyond.
So absolutely. So through BNI alone, at least in every year, we can disburse not less than 2 billion shillings.
Amazing.
Not less than 2 billion.
Amazing.
Through BNI. I rarely have those kind of targets to put, because I feel like when I put those targets on BNI, then I lose out on the connections, because now I'll be calculating
looking at the number.
Sharon,
we're not yet there.
Sharon, how much has Sharon given me?
I know, whenever you see your members in the meeting.
Then you start trying to be strategic towards the people who you think
are the ones who are
going to give you the business. And you forget that even this one who may not seem like they are going to come and be your client, they may
be the one sitting on the 1 billion
or even give you a much different connection that is so much not related to Goldmine, but will promote Goldmine
in a way that you had never even thought about.
Yes. So I think for me, the appreciation of BNI first is appreciating people. To know that where people are is where opportunities are. And we can never close ourselves in a box to particular opportunities. That for me is the first identification. But even aside from that, I'll tell you, the growth of Goldmine, when we're branching out, when we're even opening this space as the first space of Goldmine, we literally had all our service providers in one room. Literally.
Wow.
All our service
Everyone
providers.
that did anything to do with this branch came from BNI.
Came from BNI.
Amazing.
And for me, that was...
Who are some of these people? Are they... So, what businesses are these?
So when we, for example, I'll tell you, the design of the space was done by architect Trevor.
Okay.
Homes of Angiletti Design. When Trevor did the design, first I needed the lawyer to do the contracts for these people.
Yeah.
At that time, it was a Riemann Company Advocates in this space. Now I use Tara Advocates for the legal branches.
Yeah.
Then Angiletti Design did the design.
Yeah.
Then we had Curve House at the time. They were still in the chapter. Penny and Alex.
Yes.
They are the ones who did the execution.
Wow.
To put everything together.
Yeah.
Then we needed furniture. We had Nina Interiors, who was in the chapter.
Integrity. Yes.
Who we brought in to do the fit outs.
Yeah.
Then we needed signage. We had Richard Tinker, Centurion Media, who did the signage. Then we needed procurement. At the time, Emmanuel Chirwana gave us amazing wisdom on how to procure items and cut costs. We cut costs literally. He gave us advice that helped us save close to 300 million shillings in setting up the branch. And even certain annual monthly costs like printing and whatnot, because he had a good background
yes.
in banking and
this is the space you play in.
Because we were networking, still talking, just in a casual
conversation.
Where
would you have ever found?
Where would I have met?
And yet you didn't deliberately go to seek him for this.
No.
It came out of?
It was just a conversation. We were talking about a branch, how we were having our dream, a one-to-one. And he says, you're setting up a branch? Please, have you thought about this? You think about this service provider?
You realize you are sitting with a gold mine.
My goodness. I can tell you, I never stopped appreciating him for the advice that he gave me. Because we were going to spend so much, and yet he helped us save so much money in the process.
Something that never would have happened even if you had gone to find maybe a consultant.
Never.
The level
we would have
that,
paid millions for a person, for a discussion we got in a conversation.
During a one-to-one.
During a one-to-one.
Yes.
And which continued during our weekly meetings, which we were having. And he would keep following up, asking, how far with this? How are you
and what I
this?
like about that is that it's sometimes you can't even put the value of thank you for closed business to something like that.
Yes.
But the money he has saved your business, you know, you can't, it's immense. Yes, it's not money in the bank, but it saved you a lot more that you would have had in expenses. right now, even as we speak, I sort of can feel your favorite core value.
Yes.
So, but
there are some two service providers I didn't mention.
Yes.
One, logics,
Okay.
networking, and these systems and all this.
The setups. Yes.
Then two, security. We have Security Plus
Yes.
at all our locations. They man our security.
Yes, of course, money
You
has
know?
to be protected.
Yes. And then, of course, water. We have Tiva Water.
Wow.
Basically,
everywhere.
we use
Yes.
BNI.
And the piece that comes with
Everything.
using service providers that you know that you can count on, you can trust,
yes,
and you know
yes.
that even that anything happens,
Yes.
you still have them and you can count on them to even rectify, that
Yes.
even that something went wrong or whatever. Yes. So I was saying that I have a feeling I know your favorite core value.
Yes.
But I'm going to allow you to tell us what is your favorite core value.
I will allow you to. Just help me guess it. Eh?
Maybe building relationships.
Say
You're
no
a
more.
relationship
Say
guy,
no more.
basically.
Say no more.
Yes.
Say no
Yes. And I like how you say that the environment is the most important thing.
Yes.
Once you go in a space where the right people, the money will come. You don't need to chase the money.
Yes.
Just chase the people. Where are the people? What
Yes.
can you gain
Yes.
from them?
Yes.
And all that. I realized, Allan, we haven't talked about what your business does. Yes, you've said Goldmine.
Yes.
But
yes.
I've realized that I haven't really gone into what his business does. In
yes.
case there's someone that has come, that is listening for the first time,
Yes.
just tell us a little bit about who you are. What business do you do? What does your business really do?
Yes.
And you know who you're looking out for. Yes.
So Goldmine is a microfinance, tier 4 microfinance institution. We exist specifically to help businesses and individuals to thrive through financing and advisory services.
Yeah.
What that means in simple terms is that
What can we take away?
we
Yes.
exist mainly, one, helping people financially, either financial advice or finances themselves.
Okay.
So many times, in fact, many times we think our problem is money. Money is usually, yes, it's the need, but it's usually like jump starting. Like when you're jump starting a car, but the sustenance of the car is to first do the diagnostics and understand
what exactly is causing
the problems. Yeah, so that's why there's the advisory part. But the financing is what is, of course, our cash cow.
Yes.
So we finance majorly, again, businesses
Okay.
or business needs, business requirements, people who need capital, who need to stock up, people who need to pay taxes, people who need to expand and grow operations. Those are usually our kind of needs.
Yeah.
We've also got personal needs that we address, like school fees,
Yes.
when you're buying a car, home renovations, home improvements.
About weddings.
Well, we've not yet had a very big need for weddings. I'm hoping, but if the opportunity arrives, we will definitely
And it makes
look into
business
that.
sense.
Yes, yes,
You
yes,
can,
if it can
but
make
yeah,
business
because
sense.
these days I see people's
but
weddings.
we think that that
will pass
person may,
advice.
may need advice more than money. That's what I was talking about.
That one you'll first put on the side and say, but first wait.
That one first needs advice. More
Yeah, you'll say
importantly,
for free. Let's
yes,
first do this
because if you're
advisory
going
thing.
to be able to borrow for the wedding,
Yes.
you might realize there are bigger problems you're going to deal with after the wedding.
Exactly after the
Yes,
wedding.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
All right. I like your tagline. I think you should say your
Yes.
tagline that you usually tell us in
Where
BNI.
the ATM says no, we
Yes,
say yes.
it was.
Yes.
It always makes me
Terms
laugh.
and conditions
Terms and
apply.
conditions apply. Terms and conditions. Oh
Yes,
yes. Oh yes.
yes, yes.
And Allan, we want to congratulate you. Of course, you opened your third branch the other day. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Kudos. It's an amazing story that we love in BNI. That we remember where you are, where we did one-to-ones. These days, finding you for one-to-ones is not a joking matter. We're like, is he in Tinder? Is he in Kavala? Where is he? So we really congratulate you on that, and we are looking forward to you coming to a hometown near us there in Kabale.
Yeah.
Maybe you
I follow BNI. So when
if you
BNI
open
comes
a branch there,
yes,
if there's a
yes,
BNI
yes,
chapter,
yes, yes.
you will be there.
And in fact, the expansion of
Yes.
Goldmine was majorly inspired as well by BNI
Really,
and
yeah?
some BNI members.
Yeah.
Yes, when you've always had a dream, business, you have dreams, and
Yeah.
but sometimes they're scary.
That's true.
You fear to take the leap of faith. The dream existed, but the execution was the fear.
Yeah.
Now, because of seeing BNI, again, learning through BNI and seeing how it was scaling up and opening more chapters, I thought, I had a conversation with Diana to just understand, how does this thing work? Understanding how it works. And then then the other time when Cambridge Health opened a branch, and I thought, no, wait a minute.
If they have done it.
I have lived longer in BNI than Cambridge.
They challenged you, yeah?
Yes, I was quite challenged, and we went for the branch launch in and I thought, hey, this is possible.
Yeah, yes.
Cambridge has come and has left me. I said,
you're like, I will not be the one.
I said, let's go.
Yes.
So really, to be honest, opening that, branching out fast in Ntinda was a very scary thing.
Yes.
But because of being in an environment,
again,
remember,
yes,
like BNI, it made it possible because you have a whole team of advisors.
Yes.
And you have people like Cambridge who are challenging
you. Yes. Who can also tell you it's possible. You know, if you're not with other business people, people can be like, don't risk.
Yes.
You know, this is in the market. They can tell you all the bad things that could go wrong. But another businessman will tell you, man, go for it.
So they show you the good side and the challenges. And look, once we opened Ntinda, in less than a year, we opened
another one.
And we have a dream to open and keep opening even many more.
And keep opening
and of course,
even
even go outside Uganda.
We are ready. We shall be here. Yes. Because what I've heard for you is like you and BNI is a lifelong relationship.
It is lifelong learning.
It's lifelong learning, a lifelong relationship. But even as we wrap up, what would you have to tell that person who's watching? Maybe they're a BNI member. What would you tell them? Maybe they just joined, maybe they've been in BNI for 5 years. You know, what would you tell them as a businessman?
My thing is what I would tell them is think long term. Do not think short term.
Yeah.
In any environment where you think about building a relationship, it should never be about money.
Yeah.
There is no relationship that thrives where it is only about money. The biggest thing, I think, it's what do you value in people? And if you value money, you're not going to get the person. Because the person will know that all you want from them is money. But if you value the relationship, then you're going to get a lifelong relationship.
Yes.
And for me, I think in valuing the relationship is, if I value you, Sharon, I must bring value to you
as well,
because I know you bring value to me. So if I value you, I know there is a value you carry.
Yeah.
You know, so that for me is the bigger perspective, is actually thinking long term.
Long term, yes.
You know, so in thinking long term is knowing that. But number two is to have a good name.
Yeah.
Because there is no relationship where there is a bad name.
Yeah, it's hard.
Reputation is very key in long-term relationships.
Yes.
I should be able to deliver as I have promised. And lifelong learning. We must be committed to learning for life.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way I bring value to you over time. Because if we are going to stay in the same space for a period of 1 year, 2 years, after 1 year, I'll become stale.
Yes, I need to be adding to myself.
That's how I sharpen myself.
Yes.
So my advice to a BNI member, or even anyone thinking of joining BNI, is one, don't think about the money.
Yeah.
If you think about the money, you're not in BNI for long. If you think you're going to join because of money. And the funny thing is, I'll tell you, the hunters, a person will quickly know the hunters.
Yeah, it's easy to tell.
It's easy to tell.
Yeah.
You'll know the hunter is the one who's going to join BNI today, and he'll realize he wants to come and do a one-to-one with you, Sharon, because he wants you to buy his wood. And he says, now I'm
on my way. Yes.
You understand? So that is not
it's not the way, because no one likes anyone like that.
No one wants anyone like that around them.
Around them. Yeah.
So you have to think long term. You have to think that there is value, even more value than I don't see, within a space where there are people.
And I'm ready to take the time to discover this value in this person.
So it's a long-term investment in people. One, in two, building your name, knowing that I am going to deliver according to what I have. You know, that we might have a few hiccups.
Yes.
That's business. That's part of the learning process.
Yeah.
And you have to allow to be patient with people because
it can happen.
It happens, you
Yeah.
know. You will come here, Sharon, to get money. You have a bad experience. But my perspective, you see, that's the positive attitude also.
Yes.
Me as the individual who has delivered the bad service, what is my perspective?
Yes.
And how do I deal
with this matter now? It has
matter?
happened.
That
Yes.
is very critical.
Yeah.
Because how I deal with it is also critical in networking.
Yes.
You know, I shouldn't be political. I have to humble myself.
Yeah.
And be the weaker vessel.
And say, yeah, this went wrong. I messed up here.
Even if I
Yes.
didn't mess up.
Be humbler.
Yeah. Even if I didn't mess up, I have to be
Yes.
able to win you back as a customer because you are still dissatisfied.
That's a good point.
You understand?
Yes.
So
Yes.
positive attitude. That's
Always.
what positive
Yes.
attitude means.
And that's also part of long-term thinking.
Thank you very
when I
much.
say, you know what, I'm in the right, this guy is wrong, but let me just take the fall because I'm thinking a lot further than just right now.
That's it.
Yeah.
You're in
yeah.
class.
I'm
You're
in class.
You're in
I
class.
knew that I would learn
Yeah.
today.
So for me, that's
Yes.
as long as you appreciate people,
Yeah.
you must always be in that long-term thinking.
Wow.
Because while today, for example, I told you about my guy, the border guy.
Yes.
I have been with him through campus. I've been with him while I was here in business. He has been with me while I was starting, growing. But one day he
Amazing.
brought for me a client who was the mayor in a certain
Yes.
district. And
Yeah.
I was very
Yeah.
shocked. I thought, how is this possible?
Yes.
That's the life.
That's the life.
That's the lifelong relationship.
You were talking
of
about.
that I'm talking
Yes.
about. Yes.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you very much, Allan. For those of you that are listening in, thank you very much for tuning in. We've been listening to Allan Tayebwa, the CEO of Goldmine Finance, a member of BNI Sunrise Chapter,
The best
Kampala,
chapter.
Uganda. He says the best chapter in Uganda. I'm sure other people will not agree, but those are
in
his
Uganda,
words
in the world.
In the world.
I've not met a better chapter than BNI Sunrise.
He has even taken to the next level globally, the best chapter, Sunrise Chapter, and he has been sharing his BNI story. And I'm sure that you have learned something, you're inspired. If you're tuning in and you don't know about BNI or you would like to join BNI, there are chapters that are meeting all over Kampala and all over the world. If you just go to www.bni.com, you'll be able to plug in into a chapter near you, visit and join us and change the way the world does business with us. For myself, Sharon Tumsime, and all of us here in BNI TV Africa studios, thank you very much for tuning in. Until next time, bye-bye.